Hello and welcome along to the Sports Express Show. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is our last PSL talk video for the season because the season is iphelile. Sundowns are champions. Kaizer Chiefs stumbled at the final hurdle, unfortunately for Chiefs fans, but the Sundowns are the Premiership champions for the 10th time since the PSL started back in 1996. First of all, Scott is grooming a Sundowns in the season they had.
Hey,
Look at you, so happy.
I'm glowing.
What a season,
It
man.
is so nice with
They only was at number one for one day, for the last day of the season.
They
which
were
is the
number
most
one when it
important,
counted.
when it mattered the most,
counted.
yeah.
So the whole, let me just say, 9 months or so, you guys were at the top of the table.
Who's you guys?
Okay, them guys.
Who's them guys? Kaizer Chiefs.
Kaizer Chiefs, Amakosi abuyile with nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man, look, Sundowns they did it when it counted.
Yeah.
I so wish to be a fly in Pito's bedroom right now and just see how he's gloating and everything.
Sure.
He did say, Guti, look, man, he's gonna wait for the final of season, the final day, final match day, and see what happens. And it happened, bro. Chiefs, they actually bottled. We can say and confirm they bottled.
Definitely.
Looking at the amount of games they played after a lockdown or after season was on lockdown and the return.
Yeah.
They didn't play like a team or that wanted the league. They didn't play like champions, because if you want to be a champion, you have to play like a champion. So Sundowns, they managed to grind the results out. We thought Sundowns were out at some stage, but then they came back. 3 points behind, goal difference. We thought it was going to go down to goal difference, and it didn't. And Baroka played a very, very, very vital role. Remember, they won against Sundowns, and then they come back and they draw against the Chiefs. So Baroka had a vital role to play, and good to them. They actually survived even in my playoffs. Gonna see them back next season. So congratulations to Sundowns. That's all that we say. Congratulations to Pito. Congratulations to Uralani. Urulani rather.
And
Mangoba Mnitsa. How can you leave that guy out, man? Look, he's one of the most hardworking background guys. We all know Mangoba is working hard, but he's not gloating, and it doesn't, he likes being in the background basically, Mangoba. And it works for him, man, because we all know what he's done, achieved even Abu Arrows. So look, man, congratulations to Sundowns, and it takes guts and courage to win the way they did. And they did it when it mattered, at the top when it mattered. So yeah, man.
Definitely. So our video today will be something that is very difficult and very hard to put together, which is the PSL team of the season, right? So Calvin is going to have his team, I'm going to have my team. Incredibly difficult to come up with this, Calvin. I'm sure it must have taken you quite a while, back and forth, changing formations, changing players, because the one thing about this season is that yes, it wasn't a normal season, and we found a lot that players actually who played well before lockdown struggled in the bio bubble. So it was very hard to pick like the outstanding player in each position, because it was different performances in different times of the season.
That's the thing. That's what made it so difficult to choose. Because looking at the season before lockdown, you had players who they were performing, and then 6 months is a long time in football, not playing, not doing anything, not playing a competitive match. And then you come back, and then it's like a brand new season basically. You can duck and dive. It's not, but it is. It's a brand new season. Players come back refreshed. Other players who are injured, they got their chance to recover from injuries and come back and finish this season. So it's a lot that happened, and looking at the break, it did affect a few players. In a negative and others in a positive way, so you had to take that into consideration, and it was kind of difficult to chop and change.
Let's get straight into it, brother. Let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper, and I believe we have the same person. I'm not sure. I think I went for Ronwen Williams. Played every single game for SuperSport United in the PSL, and he has the most clean sheets in the league, so I think it's only fair.
It's only fair.
And he's the best South African goalkeeper we have, and
the best.
Bafana's #1 goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, and taking also into consideration this season he got 400 caps for SuperSport.
Sure.
So it shows he's a well-seasoned campaigner. Remember when he started, they saying it's the future, and I think this is the future now. Ronwen Williams, and he's doing very well for SuperSport United. Look, Ronwen Williams for me, it wasn't the hardest choice for me, Ronwen Williams. Looking at Abu Dennis Onyango,
shout out to Ofori, Mutwa from Chippa United,
and also Ricardo Boss.
Yeah.
Look, man, no, there were a few challenges, but looking at the amount of games he's played
Yeah.
and the amount of clean sheets he's had, he had to be here for me, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
His stats made me choose him.
Yeah.
Basically. And his performance. I have to say
Stats.
his
I think
performance.
when it comes to goalkeepers, the most important thing is clean sheets.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, that defense has to be good, and you have those clean sheets, you basically are the best goalkeeper in the league.
Yeah, you have
So, right, the back four now. Do you have a back four or is it a back three?
I started out as a back five and then I just went to a back
five?
four. Yeah.
What the hell?
Hey, no.
Why would you pick 5 defenders, bro?
No, I was looking at my formations, but then I was like,
Yeah.
nah. You know,
Okay, back four.
I'm cutting myself short for the midfield and the
Back
attack.
four.
So yeah, I chose a back four, and then I had to go at right back. I took Reef Rosler from Chiefs. For me, he's one of the consistent players.
Yeah.
When I chose my players, I looked at consistency most. So Reef Rosler for me was the most consistent right back in the league. Because Umkhize, I was gonna go for Umkhize, but he had a few injuries and a few chopping and changing corner. We kept up City, so Reef Rosler for me, yes. And then centre back, I went for Thulani Hlatshwayo. And
Really?
Yeah, I had to go for. Look, I had to go for the experience, basically.
No, but it wasn't his best season, though.
Yes, it wasn't, but then looking
Like,
at
he's
how
had better seasons, and there were better
but
defenders.
remember, this season is from last year. Remember that?
Yeah, but
yeah. So I took consideration to last
Yeah.
year, how you played last year for it before lockdown, and he was playing well. Remember, there was that rumors about him going to Pirates and all of that.
Yeah.
He was still a good player then, and he was still performing. Not that he is not performing now,
Yeah.
but due to the pandemic and everything we spoke about earlier, I had to go full to Hlatshwayo, and then I had to play with Roshni Tiruk for me.
Yeah, no,
Roshni,
definitely.
Roshni has to be the young player. If he was still young, he would have been the young player of
Defender of the season,
Defender
probably.
of the season,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Roshni Tiruk. He did very well for Maritzburg United. Coming in, playing with Abu Ali, man, look, he had the experience next to him. He played with good players, so Roshni for me, it wasn't difficult to choose him for Roshni
Yeah.
for me. It wasn't a difficult choice. And then another difficult choice was in left back. I had to actually look at players.
Yeah.
I had to find. I was looking at about Home for Kunjana in Cape Town City, looking at Umayela, looking at
Oli Sigunene.
Kunen. I had to look at a few players, even in Maritzburg. I had to look, but then I just went to go with I had to choose a young and upcoming player because he performed well, especially after Footy lockdown.
Yeah.
For me, Fisson when he was Celtics. I just had to
That
pick
performance
him.
against Chiefs.
Yes, it did play an effect, but then I watched these games before that, and he was also playing, and he's playing the kind of football I like a left back to play. He's very good going offensively, and he's got stamina. So when it comes to defense, when he has to come back, he's actually good at coming back. So that's one thing that made me choose him overall for me. That's my back four. So it's actually Reeve, Hlatshwayo,
Okay.
Roshni, and Sfiso Lube.
Nice back four, brother. Nice back four. So I also went with Frosler.
Yeah.
Because I think he's probably the most outstanding
Yeah,
player
he is.
at Kaiser Chiefs this
Yeah.
season. I mean, he didn't play a lot of games. I think he only played like 19 games this
Yeah.
season in the league. But outstanding player, even great when he's in midfield as well. Going forward, such a positive, direct player. It's very good. And on left back, I actually went to Oli Sigunene from Maritzburg United. I think
Yeah.
he's had his best season yet in the PSL. I mean, very good going forward defensively. Maritzburg actually have the 3rd best defense in the league.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I think it's only fair that I have
But-
2 Maritzburg
yeah.
players in my back four.
Ukunene, the reason I didn't choose him because he
Yeah.
also plays in midfield.
Yeah,
I
so
was
he
like,
changes.
He changes.
Yeah.
That's a good
And a
thing.
winger.
but-
He plays as a
As a
winger.
winger. But
Yeah,
that's a
and
good
coming
thing
back.
because he's very versatile. But then
Sure.
I just had to go for someone who's
Yeah.
playing left back only.
He can defend
Yeah,
as
he can
well, very
defend.
good
Yeah,
defensively.
Ukunene is very good. He's a very hard worker.
Yeah.
He runs the whole 90 minutes. That guy. So yeah, I see where you're going with the Ukunene.
Centre back was a headache. It was a nightmare. So Uteruk was the obvious choice
Yeah,
at
that's the
centre back.
obvious
I think fantastic season, arguably the best defender this season in the PSL. But the centre back partnership was a big problem
Yeah,
because
finding someone to play.
yeah,
not to look.
you see, we've had outstanding performance in defense, and we've had teams or players who are in teams that have good defensive records.
Yes.
But it's very hard to pick an outstanding defender like
like
who was
Uteruk,
outright.
yeah.
So the likes of Cardoso,
Yeah.
Matoho, Chiefs are very good defensively,
Defensively as a
but
team,
but
but then-
as individuals, not really sure.
You had to think about
You go to
it.
Sundowns, you look at Nascimento, you look at Madisha, very good defense. Sundowns have the best defense in the league.
I had my t-shirt in my
But Madisha and Nascimento, still not entirely sure about that.
Yeah.
And then you go to the likes of Hlatshwayo. But I had to pick a Sundowns player in defense because Sundowns have been the best defending team in the PSL this season. So I had to go with Madisha. at the end, settling
I
for.
actually had Umadisha in my team.
Yeah, I settled with Umadisha.
I had Umadisha.
I mean, I think he's had a great season. He's been one of the best defenders, and he's had his problems and his flops as well this season. So it was a bit of a mixed one. I mean, in the bio bubble, he wasn't that great for Sundowns, but I think throughout the season, and look at how Sundowns were great defensively, I think Umadisha does deserve to be in the back four. So I have Utero, Umadisha, Reef Flossler, and Nkoli Sigunene. That's my back four. Are you happy? Any objections?
Look, I'm not, bro, because I had Umadisha in my team.
Yeah.
So basically, we would have had the same back four if it wasn't for Tsulani Hlatshwayo and Umadisha in his face. So look, man, Umadisha, for me, one thing I looked at was that he's been the one who's been there, like in Sundowns, we were chopping and changing defenders.
Yeah.
But Umadisha was the one who played more games out of all of them because Nasima had problems. Ulo Kunjana and Lebusa was in and out. So look, Umadisha was the one who was most consistent in Sundowns. That's why I had chosen him. But then I had to pick him. And I chose a well-seasoned campaigner. Well-seasoned campaigner over Umadisha. But Umadisha is a very good player, and he was playing very well for his Sundowns this season.
Definitely. So I have a midfield 3. You have a midfield 4.
4, yes, basically.
Okay, so you're going with a 4-4-2.
I had to go with the
Right.
basics. I just had to go with the
my formation is 4-3-3. So you're going to start since you have the most midfielders. Who do you have, brother?
Okay, at wing, I chose Ukabadinho Mhango at wing. Right wing.
Not up front.
Not up front.
Sure. This guy.
You're going to understand, right? And
Okay.
then I had to go for Bradley Ralani, who kept some seats. For me, that guy, he should have been playing for Bafana like 100 games or so. He should have, throughout his career, he should have played.
He's been really good.
He's a very good player.
Yeah.
Even back then, he was playing overseas, Gabon Helsinki for Sweden. Uralani is just a good player. I used to follow him, watching his videos and reading magazines online.
Yeah.
And I'll see him, he's playing in and out every year, every season. So Uralani, and he came back and I got to watch him. And even last year, even when he came back, I see why this guy was playing overseas for so long.
Yeah.
So Uralani, when he came back, for me, he's just got that sweet magic with him.
Sure.
He'll just do something. Remember the goal against the Sundowns?
Sundown, who?
That
chip.
that chip, bro, it shows with this guy, he's got a football brain and he lives, eats and breathes football. So I just had to pick Uralani and Ukabadinho Mhango.
On the sides.
On the sides.
Right,
Look,
your two
Okay.
sitting midfielders.
midfielders, I had to go with hardworking and experience. I just had to do that.
Okay.
I had to pick Utabo Notata. For me, he's one of the most box-to-box, the best box-to-box midfielder we
Okay.
have in South Africa right now at the moment. For me.
Okay.
For me, that's my opinion. That is my
That's your
opinion.
team, brother. That's
He
your
is
opinion.
the best box-to-box midfielder we have right now.
He's a very good player.
He's a very good
Top.
player. He's a very good player. He can pass the ball. He's very good defensively, and also attacking-wise, he gives you that something, that little bit something. So when you pair him up against the likes of Kekani, the most experienced midfielder we have right now in the league, for me, Ukekano was just an obvious choice. I had to pick Ukekano. Looking at the way he plays, man, looking at my formation, he's very good defensively and he's very good playing the ball out wide. If you're looking at my wingers and looking at Ukekano's long balls, for me, Uralani and Ukabadinho Mhango have the best, or have one of the best first touches. So that I had to pick Ukekano.
Where's Tembas?
I knew you were gonna go. I knew it.
Where is Tembas Wane?
I know.
Is he striking?
No.
No! You can't leave Tembas Wane out.
I had to.
No, bro.
I had to. Bro. I know.
Come on.
I left a few Sundowns
You
players
left, you left the highest scoring midfielder in the league this season out of your team.
I knew there was one.
No, but
I
it's
wanted to
Kelvin.
put it.
It's the team of the season, not the most favorable team for you. Because I can see you talking about the combinations of Ukekana and Nodata, of Mhango and Ralani, but it's not about that. It's the best player in each position.
It is.
So you're telling me Nodata and Ralani were better than Tembas Wane this season?
For me. Look,
guy, come on.
Not that had an injury, but then lucky enough for him, Kunjana, who had in this long break, and he was able to come back.
Sure.
And he's have you watched Not that, bro?
I have, but Umshishi.
You
can't leave
I know
Umshishi out.
Umshishi, bro, is very good.
You
But for
can't.
me this year,
9 goals.
This year, this year.
Close to 20 goal contribution for Sundowns. He was the best player for his Sundowns, a title-winning side.
Yes, he is, man.
Sure.
Umshishi, man, I understand Umshishi. And I had him in mind. I won't lie, I had him.
You put Mhango instead ahead of Umshishi.
There's a reason for that also. You're gonna find the reason why I had to do that, bro.
Okay, brother. Right.
That is my midfield. So
That is your midfield four.
Uralani,
Are you sticking with that?
I have to, bro. No time.
Sticking with your guns, I like that. All right, so my midfield three is the most outstanding players in the season, statistically more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we had players who were playing well before lockdown, and then the bio-bubble situation was very tricky for a lot of players. So the performances weren't that consistent throughout the season. And it's because of the 5-month break that was in between the season. So it was a very tricky season for a lot of players. So Hlompho Kekana, definitely as a holding midfielder for me. I'm playing a midfield three.
Yeah.
So I had to really reduce the amounts of midfielders because I think the attacking three need to be there, and they've been, you know. So my midfield three will be Kekana. I think Hlompho doesn't need any introductions.
Yeah,
He's been one of the best midfielders in the last decade, arguably. Consistency, he's always there, week in and week out. He's always playing, despite the age and everything. Right? I had Themba Zwane. I can't leave Umshishi out. I mean, it's a title-winning season for Sundowns, and I think they should dominate the team of the season. And Themba Zwane has arguably been the best player in the PSL this season. A lot of people have been arguing between him and Nukovic, but I think Zwane is definitely out there, best midfielder for me this season in the PSL. And the third midfielder had to be a very difficult one, because you're talking about the likes of Oralani, you're talking about the likes of Onodada, but I had to go with an attacking midfielder, which is Lebohang Manyama.
I knew it! I knew it! But I know, because you said statistics.
Yeah, I said, more than anything, my picks were statistically.
He's the best assisting
he's got 6 goals.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, 9 assists.
Yeah, he's got 9 or 10.
He was absolutely bad in the bio-bubble.
He was bad.
He was terrible in the bio-bubble, but upon reflection of the season and looking at how impactful he was.
You just had to have a cheese player there.
No,
I know.
But there's Reef Frostler in defense.
You had to have a cheese player in midfield.
I mean, but it's 1 and 2. It's the best 2 teams in the league. So Manyama, yes, I know a lot of people will argue the fact that he was bad in the bio-bubble. I agree with that. But I think that looking at the trajectory of the season and how he's one of the key players for Chiefs this season. I mean, his crosses, his assists for Unukovic. I think him, Unukovic and Frostler were the best, and Akpe were arguably the best players for Chiefs this season. As much as it didn't win the league, but they were literally 1 goal away from winning the league. And it didn't happen, obviously, so Umanyama is in my midfield three. And yeah.
No, you guys bought us. There's no 1 goal.
Yeah, look. I mean, he's had a great season still.
Yeah, look, Umanyama, man. Yeah, he's been playing very well for Chiefs. And Umanyama, I saw his stats, but for me, I wouldn't lie. The bio-bubble had an effect on me not picking him.
Definitely. He was unfit, he was overweight. So that was a huge factor. Now we're going to move over to the attackers. You have 2 left. So it's going to be 2 strikers for you. And then on my side, it's going to be 3 attackers. Who did you go with?
I mean, I have to go with the best, obviously. Peter Shalulile, man. Look, he's had a wonderful season. Is the best scoring season he's had in PSL.
Yeah.
But before that, even back in the previous season, Shalulile has been the best player for me with Highlands Park.
Yeah.
He's very Shalulile, but he's
too much.
He's one of the players that runs hard, like full 90 minutes also. So going attacking wise, and also between Yan and Nomhango, they can go vice versa. Yeah, interchange. So I had to go for Peter Shalulile, and then I had to go for a very clinical player, man. Look, Samuel Nukovic is probably me the best clinical striker we have in the PSL right now. Undoubtedly. I know he missed against but that was just one miss. He scored 14 goals, so look, man. He's third basically in the goal scoring chart. So I had to go for his clinicalness because I know he's a very clinical player, and Samuel Nukovic, so I had to put him there. Pair him up with the Peter Shalulile, knowing that the Peter Shalulile will actually be the hardworking one for Nukovic. So that's my 11. That's your 11. That is my 11.
All right, for me, I think the only obvious players that are left in the team are obviously the 3 attackers that I'm going to be putting in. Kabatino Mango on the left of the pitch, and of course I'm going to have Shalulile coming through on the right, and Gogoja. So obviously Nukovic. Like between them, I think there's like over 30 goals.
Yeah, look, man. Between Nukovic, between
Shalulile
and Nomhango. Basically, they've got like 32 goals between them.
And Nukovic as well scored 12, I think, or 13.
Yeah, he's got 13, or 14, I think. So look,
a great goal scoring
It's a
season.
different
That's
thing,
why.
dedicated,
That's why I had, because we've had so many good attackers in the PSL this season, and we also shout out to the likes of Fobo Mintuli, who came through.
Kunjana nabo lufana we Marisbeck, Kutumela.
Yes, Kutumela.
A lot of players.
Gif Mutupa. So there were a lot of players.
Yeah,
So
there was a lot. But
the attackers were so good in the PSL this season that I had to reduce the midfielders and have a 3 instead of a 4 and a 2. So I had to put more numbers in front because they've been so good, and all 3 of them deserve to be in the team.
yeah, man. Look, I mean, your 11 is very good, man. For me,
Who has a better team?
Me, hey, I have to go with Uzwane, bro. Uzwane is a good player, but
Yeah.
I just didn't see him.
No,
in
I'm
my
asking
11.
between the two of us, who has a better team?
Why are you asking me, bro? I have the better team.
How do you have, there's no Temba Zwane in your team.
Look, man, I've got a Nodada, I've got a Ralani,
Yeah.
I've got a Mhango. Look,
Yeah.
man, I've got the best attack compared to you. Plus, my midfield can annihilate yours, bro.
Yeah, it's more balanced,
Yeah, it's more balanced, so yeah. I have
Right.
to go with balance also.
That was our PSL team of the season. Tell us, what's your PSL team of the season? Who's the player of the season for you?
Hey, dude.
No comment. No.
I have to comment, bro. This is the last
One, give me a name quickly. We're closing now.
Obviously, I have to go with the best scoring person, so let me just say.
Shaluli.
No,
Maham.
No, Shaluli, yeah. Shaluli.
Really?
Shaluli.
Just because he's a top goal scorer?
He's a top goal scorer, man.
Has he been the best player this season?
Shaluli.
Has he? Are you sure?
I just
Then
said
why
no.
are you saying so? Why are you saying
Look,
Shaluli?
I'm blank.
The
I
best
won't lie,
player.
I'm blank.
The
I'm
best
blank.
player.
The best player. You're probably gonna laugh at me for this, okay?
What? Don't-
You know what I'm gonna say.
Who?
This one.
And it's not in your team.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's why I just picked someone else. But yeah,
I love this guy.
Let me be honest, man. Look, this one is very good.
Yeah,
Deserves to be
I'm
the winner.
going for Nukovic. Great season. I think he's had a great impact. Consistency throughout the season for me.
But he
Nukovic.
missed against it, so that's gonna play a very, very big role. Because if he scores,
Yeah.
we win. That's unbelievable. So,
Definitely. Tell us your team of the season in the comment section, and we'll catch you next time.